The moment arrives. The interviewer leans forward, the microphone switches on, or the CEO asks for your immediate input. Your mind, sharp just seconds ago, suddenly goes blank. Your throat tightens, your heart begins to race, and the well-prepared thoughts turn into a jumbled mess. If you've ever felt this seismic gap between what you know and what you can say, you are not alone. You aren't lacking intelligence, you're battling biology. This book is your blueprint. It reveals the science behind the fumble and equips you with the structural tools and physiological tricks to not just manage anxiety, but to speak with such clarity and authority that you consistently impress and inspire. Speaking with confidence and clarity is not an innate talent reserved for a few. It is a skill built on psychology, preparation, and practice. Whether you're walking into a high-stakes interview or presenting to a room of executives, mastering the art of speaking smart is the key to leaving a lasting, positive impression. Part 1. The Science of the Stutter. Why we fumble. Before we fix the problem, we must understand the cause. Why do our minds go blank and our words turn into a jumbled mess when the pressure is on? The phenomenon of fumbling is deeply rooted in our biology, specifically the fight, flight, or freeze stress response. 1. The amygdala hijack. When we perceive a high-stakes situation, like an interview or a presentation, the amygdala, the brain's emotion processing center, senses danger, social rejection, or failure. It sends an immediate signal to the body. 2. The adrenaline rush. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline flood the system. This is designed to get your muscles moving, but it hinders the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for complex thought, planning, and language fluency. 3. Cognitive overload. Your brain shifts from retrieval mode, effortlessly accessing words and facts, to survival mode. You are simultaneously trying to manage the content, the audience's reaction, your physical symptoms, shaky hands, fast heartbeat, and the task of speaking. This cognitive overload causes the stutter, the pause, and the forgotten point. The fix? We must learn to signal to the amygdala that the environment is safe, turning off the stress response before it silences the prefrontal cortex. Ready to override the panic? Your first step is physical. Practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique 3 times today, once in the morning, once before lunch, and once before a difficult task, and notice the immediate shift in your baseline calm. Part 2. The Art of Speaking Smart. Clarity over complexity. Speaking smart is not about using obscure vocabulary. It's about structuring your thoughts so they are impactful, clear, and easy to follow. Impressive communication focuses on 4 key pillars. 1. Structure, the rule of 3. An impressive speaker delivers thoughts that are easy to digest. Use this simple framework for any point you wish to make. The point, P, state your main idea clearly and concisely. The example, E, provide supporting evidence, a brief story or data. The takeaway, T, explain the implication or next step. Example, we need to invest in AI. P, it cut our reporting time by 40% in Q3. E, this means we can reallocate those hours to client-facing strategy. T. 2. Clarity and concision. Eliminate filler words. Words like like, and erode confidence. The smart alternative is to embrace the pause. A deliberate pause signals authority, gives you time to organize your next thought, and allows the listener to absorb the last one. 3. Active listening. The smartest speakers spend more time listening than talking. When you are truly present, you can tailor your response directly to what was said, demonstrating superior cognitive agility and respect. Paraphrase the speaker's last point before offering your counterpoint to show you grasped their perspective. Challenge yourself.
Pick one important idea you need to communicate this week, whether in an email, a team meeting, or an interview response. Outline it right now using the P.E.T. framework. Go from rambling to remarkable. Part 3. The Confidence Toolkit. Fixing the fumble. To ensure smooth, confident delivery in high-pressure scenarios, use these 3 techniques to regulate your physiology and preparation. 1. Preparation is presence. The #1 reason for fumbling is a lack of deep subject mastery. If you have to spend mental energy recalling facts, you have less energy for managing stress. Practice retrieval. Don't just read your notes. Close your eyes and practice delivering your key points out loud as if you're being interrupted. This trains your brain to retrieve information under pressure. The interview script. Prepare 3 to 5 high-impact short stories. Situation, task, action, result, STAR method about your past successes. Rehearse them until they're seamless. 2. Master your breath. Since the stress response starts physically, we must shut it down physically. The moment you feel the nervousness surge, do a quick mental check. 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold for 7, and exhale slowly for 8. Do this once or twice discreetly. For example, when the interviewer is writing a note, this engages the vagus nerve, which signals to your nervous system that it's time to rest and digest, physically calming the adrenaline surge. 3. Own your body language. Confidence is projected before you even speak. The power pose. Before the meeting, spend 2 minutes in the bathroom in a power pose, hands on hips, standing tall. Studies show this can temporarily increase testosterone, linked to confidence, and decrease cortisol, linked to stress. Anchoring. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Widen your stance slightly and keep your hands open. This anchors you, reducing physical jitters and projecting stability. Stop merely reading your notes. Tonight, choose one high-stakes question or presentation point and practice your response out loud, standing in a power pose until the answer flows effortlessly and with perfect pacing. Part 4. Stories of Transformation. The Case of the Quiet Scientist. Dr. Anya Sharma was a brilliant microbiologist but suffered crippling anxiety during presentations. She often fumbled, speeding up until her audience couldn't follow her complex findings. After a particularly disastrous talk, she vowed to change. Instead of just rehearsing content, she rehearsed her pauses. She recorded her practice sessions and imposed a mandatory 3-second silence after every main slide point. When she presented her findings for a major grant proposal, she consciously slowed her pace, used the pauses to breathe, 4-7-8, and made deliberate eye contact. The audience didn't just understand her science, they saw a woman in control of the room. She secured the grant not just for her research, but for the confidence she projected in its importance. Anya learned that silence is not emptiness, it is power and control. Mark was interviewing for a highly competitive consulting position. He knew his credentials were good, but he often stumbled when asked unexpected, challenging questions. For his final round interview, he preemptively decided on a tactic: the bridge and pivot. When asked a highly technical question he hadn't prepared for, instead of freezing, he used the pause and the pivot. That's an excellent, complex question that hits on the core challenge of this project. While I would need to analyze the specific data streams, what I can tell you is how my previous experience in a similar scenario led to a viable framework. He bridged the gap, showed he wasn't flustered, and steered the conversation back to his strengths. He secured the job, proving that agility under fire is more impressive than rote memorization. Which story resonates more, Anya's control or Mark's agility? Choose one lesson, the power of the pause or the bridge and pivot, and apply it to your very next communication challenge. Transformation begins with a single conscious action. Confidence isn't the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. Every great speaker, leader, and communicator has felt the tightening in their chest, but they learned the counter moves. You now have the map, a physiological fix for the freeze, a structural framework for clarity, and proven tactics for control. Stop letting your anxiety speak louder than your expertise. The world is waiting for your voice. Go speak smart.